And now let me reach down. Scott, Sacramento, KSFO, Democrat, go.
So let me get this straight. If you're not a corporate leader, CEO, and you're somewhere underneath your CEO of your company, you should just...
Oh, you mean like Gates and Buffett and all these other Obama supporters? Hold on, pal. You sound like a real smarty. Hold on. We'll be right back. Let's go back to Scott, a Democrat. Go ahead, Scott. I don't even remember what you were saying. Take your time, though.
Well, I just think your perspective with respect
No, I don't. You're not a psychiatrist, are you?
With your
all right, just go ahead. Go ahead and make your political point.
Okay, you're characterizing.
No. Don't worry about me. Make your political point. Go ahead.
And it's not. It's never has been. At our best of times in this country, it's been a partnership of government working with the private sector.
I know. Lower the guy. He's going to. Howard Dean said that the other day. We're not talking about pure systems here. When I talk about socialism, I'm talking about not government ownership of the means of production. I'm talking about government control through regulation, taxation, threats, intimidation of the private sector. Of course, we have capitalism taking place in this country, but we also have a government that's extremely hostile to it. In other words, it only likes capitalism to the extent it can steal from it. It doesn't do anything to advance capitalism. It doesn't do anything to advance private sector growth whatsoever. Go ahead.
Are you serious? Have you been a U.S. citizen for the past 40 years?
Okay, hey, schmuck. I treated you with respect. Now I think you're a jerk. So get out of here. I've been a U.S. citizen for the past, what did he say, 40 years? Let me tell you where the liberal agenda has gotten us. High unemployment, wage stagnation, energy and food inflation, and foreclosures. Now, dimwits like that guy would say, oh, that's capitalism for you. Right. That's capitalism for you? When the government steals, when the government confiscates through taxation 40% of a business's income, small business, individual businesses. I'm not talking about the corporate income tax. I'm talking about the individual, the federal income tax, where so many people are sole proprietors or family businesses. When the government takes 40%, that's just the feds. And if you live in California or New York, by the time you add it all up, it's well over 50, close to 60%. You create unemployment. You create wage stagnation. When the government intentionally prevents exploration for oil and natural gas or the building of nuclear power plants or refineries, you drive up the cost of energy. And Obama said that is his intention. He's shutting down coal mines. He's shutting down oil rigs. They are blocking permits to expand and build new refineries. The government has to approve nuclear power plants. How many are being built? Maybe one? I don't know. And we've had a housing policy in this country driven by HUD and the Justice Department aimed at redistributing the wealth, which has done what? Cut the belly out of the housing market. What happens is the federal government sabotages the private sector. It sabotages the housing market. It sabotages wealth creation and job creation. It sabotages the production of fuel and food through quote-unquote health regulations, quote-unquote safety regulations, quote-unquote environmental regulations, or redistributing the wealth. And after doing enormous damage to our economic system by intervening at every stage of production and intervening repeatedly at every stage of production, then we get the callers that say, oh, well, we have some regulations here, as if it's 1804 or something. We have millions of bureaucrats at the state and federal level, local too. We've got hundreds of thousands of laws and regulations. We don't even know what we have. And they act like they're not doing anything. I'm well aware that our economy is mixed. The problem is it's mixed too heavily with socialism. Socialism is Bloomberg's terms, the salt in the mixture. Way too much salt. Way too much fat. It's the obese part of the mixture. But you can't just dismiss it. We've always had a mixed system. We need less of a mixed system. More of a free system. More of a competitive system. We need to grow the pie, not just keep busying ourselves with cutting it up into smaller and smaller pieces. This is what the left will never understand. You want to know why? It's a philosophy based not only on stupidity, but enormous jealousy and contempt and anger. That guy was a malcontent, which is what I've called you liberals as long as I've been on the air, and long before. You just never heard me when I wasn't on the air. You're malcontents.